Welcome back. So, Your Friends and Neighbors season 2 tries really hard to look like prestige television, but once you get past the glossy surface, there's surprisingly little substance underneath. The season leans heavily into Apple TV's signature dramedy style, mixing humor, drama, and social commentary. But instead of feeling sharp or insightful, it often comes across as bloated and unfocused. Scenes drag longer than they should, storylines wander, and the show depends way too much on John Hamm to hold everything together. At its core, the biggest issue is simple. The show feels like it's missing a reason to exist. We are once again dropped into the wealthy bubble of Westmont Village where privileged middle aged couples behave like teenagers, drinking excessively, cheating, and spiraling through exaggerated midlife crisis. It's meant to be a critique of wealth and privilege, but the show never fully commits to that idea, and that's where things start to fall apart. It's unclear whether we are supposed to laugh at these characters, relate to them, or take their problems seriously. The series constantly shifts between satire and soap opera, creating a strange tone that never quite lands. One moment it wants to expose the emptiness of elite lifestyle, and the next it's asking you to emotionally invest in the same characters it portrayed as shallow and self absorbed. As a result, most of these characters feel frustratingly hollow. It's not just that they are unlikable, it's that their problems feel inflated and insignificant. Everyday issues are treated like massive crises but without real stakes. It becomes exhausting to watch. At times, it feels like you are stuck in conversation you would rather walk away from. Across 10 episodes, there simply isn't enough meaningful progression to justify the runtime. The show spends too much time circling itself instead of actually moving forward. Compared to something like Succession, which masterfully balance satire and drama with a clear identity, Your Friends and Neighbors feels lost. It wants to be sharp, dramatic, funny, and emotional all at once, but never fully commits to any one direction. That said, John Hamm is still the standout. He brings a level of presence and charisma that keeps the show watchable, even when the writing struggles. But at the same time, it feels like he's not been fully utilized. His character often comes across as safer, less complex version of roles he's played before, and you can't help but feel like there's a missed potential there. James Marsden's addition this season is another highlight. His dynamic with Ham adds much needed energy, and their scenes together are easily the most engaging. Olivia Munn also delivers a strong performance, helping elevate parts of the story that might otherwise fall flat. But for a show that's supposed to be a crime drama, the crime element feels like an afterthought. The central hook that should drive the story gets buried under side plots, relationships drama, and long stretches of dialogue that don't add much tension. By the time the season reaches its bigger moments, they often feel rushed or unearned, and that's really what defines this season. It's not terrible, but it's frustrating. There's a good show buried somewhere in here. With tighter writing, stronger focus, and more emphasis on its core premise, it could have been something genuinely compelling. Instead, it feels like a collection of ideas that never fully come together. By the end, the season is fine, not great, not terrible, just fine. But considering the talent involved, especially John Hamm, fine feels like a missed opportunity. Your Friends and Neighbors season 2 is watchable, but ultimately hollow. A flashy, expensive looking series that never quite figures out what it wants to be. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.